Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. So today's video is going to be Magnolia's 1 month update. So if you want to hear about everything she's accomplished in her first month of life, stick around.
Pray that I'm
Magnolia was born on March 7th at exactly 11 p.m. She weighed 2 pounds, 14.9 ounces, and was 15 inches long. She was obviously very small. She came early. She was born at 28 weeks and 5 days. So she was very early, but she was a pretty good size for how old she was. So that was really good. Before I delivered her, I was given steroid shots. I had 2 steroid shots they gave me, and that was to help with her lungs. So when she was born, she actually did have the lung ability to cry, so that was really nice. I got to hear her cry when she was born.
That's good.
That's fantastic.
Her lungs work.
So when she was born, she was on a breathing tube. It went down her throat, and she had that for 1 whole day, and then she went to a CPAP really fast because she was breathing over her breathing tube. She was double breathing. So they took her breathing tube out and put her on a CPAP, which is the same thing that people use for sleep apnea. So it just covered her nose, and it you really could not see her face at all. It was on her all the time. Also, when she was born, she had to have some, I call them lines, but I don't really know what the technical term is, but it went into where her belly button is, and that's how they gave her nutrients and things like that. And those had to be out before I could even hold her. I didn't get to hold her until she was 1 week and 1 day old. So if you want to see that video, we have a video of me holding her for the first time. We will have that either in the cards or down in the description box, a link for that video. She got off those leads pretty fast, or off those lines pretty fast. They were able to take them out. And then I was able to hold her, and it was really great. And her next big thing was she got off of CPAP, which was really good. She had been having a lot of belly issues, and her belly was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and she wasn't really pooping a whole lot. She had to have a lot of suppositories to get her to poop. And so Robert talked with the doctor and just said, can we do breaks with the CPAP? Can we just give her a break from it, from time to time? So they made the decision to actually take her off of CPAP and put her on oxygen in her nose, like what an adult would get if they're in the hospital and they need oxygen. It just has 2 little prongs, and they go in the nose. And they weren't sure if she was going to be able to stay on that or not. They were just kind of experimenting with it, seeing how her oxygen levels stayed, and she's been doing really good on it. So she is on the nose oxygen now, and she's doing really well. So she still wasn't pooping a whole lot, and so they wanted to check to make sure that her intestines looked correct and that they were functioning correctly. So they did a barium enema, which they put dye in through her bum, I believe, and it sends the dye through so you can see what happens to it. And that came back totally normal. Everything looked good. Nothing was inflamed, or nothing was really small, so that was really good. And then after that was done, she started pooing, so that just kind of helped get things going. And now she is an expert pooer. She's really, really good at pooing. We're really proud of her for that. She still has a big belly, but it's definitely not as big as it was before. It's just a little bit big, and that's fine. But then her next big thing was she got to the 4-pound mark. So she got to the 4-pound mark. Yeah, the 5th, I was right. She was 4 pounds, 0.3 ounces. So just at 4 pounds. And yesterday, she was 4 pounds, 1.6 ounces. So she just keeps on getting bigger, which is really good. She's just gaining weight, and it's not just because of all the stuff backed up in her. We know because she is pooing a lot. So she's just gaining weight and getting healthier and healthier. So the most recent big thing that we did was we worked on her latching. So with babies as young as she is, they don't have the ability to suck and swallow and breathe like at the same time. They can't do that. They have to like choose one of those things. And if they concentrate too much on sucking, they may not breathe, and then they're not getting enough oxygen. So they just don't have the ability for that. So that's why it's just now getting to where we can talk about breastfeeding and things like that. We were able to latch her on. She wasn't getting anything out of it. It's called non-nutritive sucking. So what it is I actually get everything out. So I pump right before, so there's nothing in there. And we just latch her on so she can practice the sucking motion and working on sucking and breathing without having to worry about all this milk going into her mouth and swallowing it. So it's just practice. And she really can't last very long because she gets tired so fast. The first time we did it, she only lasted like 2 or 3 minutes. The second time, she did a lot better. She lasted like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, which was amazing. And it was so funny because the second time we did it, the lactation consultant was there, and she was helping me with like positioning and just talking to me just about latching in general, which she does have a tongue tie on the bottom, so like connecting her tongue to the bottom of her mouth. She has that little piece of skin comes out a little bit too long. We're not going to be worried about doing anything about it right yet. We're going to see how she does with latching and feeding, and if it seems like it's getting in the way, then we'll do something about it then. But we're not going to do anything about it right now. Okay, so I was holding her. The first day we had a really hard time getting her to open her mouth. Like we kept having to like pull on her chin, and she would not open her mouth. We finally did get her to open it, but it took some time. But this second time, she just opened her mouth. She just opened it up. So we stuck her on there, and she just looked at me like, what is this? What am I supposed to do with it? She did not move. She didn't do anything. She just sat there and was just staring at me like, what now? What is this? And what am I supposed to do with it? And, eventually, like after like a minute or two, she started like kind of moving her tongue around. I could feel it like just a little bit, like not even a lot. It was the cutest thing. She did suck a little bit, but not a whole lot. Just really kind of like, what is this going on? It was really funny. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. It was really fun to get that bonding time. We are going to be trying bottle feeding, I think, this upcoming week. The reason why they do the bottle is because she still gets other nutrients from, like, they call it milk fortifier. And so they add calories to help them gain weight for the little preemies. They want them to gain weight and to get bigger and get stronger. So they add calories to the milk, and then also she's getting other nutrients. They add in like iron and things like that. And so that's why she has to have it through a bottle, because she can't just have the milk fortifier and the vitamins. It has to be mixed in with the milk. That's why she'll be getting a bottle, but I will be able to breastfeed as well. I can do breastfeeding and then maybe half breastfeed and then half of the bottle to get all those extra stuff in. But just really working on getting her to latch is really great. And yeah, it's just so exciting. I cannot believe it's already been a month. It's crazy. Time has just blown by, and she's getting so big, and she's opening her eyes so much more and just kind of looking around. She did have an eye exam, and they said that everything looks good, that they just said prematurity. I have no idea what that means. Prematurity of her eyes. I don't know, but they said that's normal because obviously she is premature. They're just gonna keep coming back, I think either every week or every other week, and just keep checking. She's been having ultrasounds on her heart because there was a moderate murmur when she was born, and they've just been kind of rechecking it. The last time they checked, it was getting smaller. So she's going to have another one this next week to see if it's even smaller. So that's good that it is getting smaller. She's been seeing a physical therapist and an occupational therapist. So the occupational therapist works on her sucking and her tongue movement and everything like that. And then the physical therapist works more with her body muscle, her muscle tone and her movements and things like that. So they were showing me different positionings I can do with her, how to get her to be in a straight line when she's laying down, because right now she doesn't have the muscles to be able to lay in a straight line like babies naturally do. So we have to use positioning aids to get her to lay in a straight line. But yeah, she's been growing really good. She's gone from 2 pounds 14.9 ounces up to 4 pounds 1.6 ounces in 1 month. So that's pretty good, I think, for a preemie. The next thing we're going to be working on is that feeding, trying to get her to feed. Oh, another big milestone is she's wearing clothes now. So they put them in clothes when they're trying to get them to wean themselves off of the isolette. So the isolette is that bed that she sleeps in, and what that is used for a lot is that is warm, it has a little heater in it, and she has a temperature little probe that is stuck to her that reads her body temperature at all times, and that is sent to a little computer that's hooked up to the bed, and they have a temperature of what they would like her to be at. And so the bed either goes up in temperature or down in temperature to get her body temperature to be what they want it set at. So they have actually turned that off, so they don't even have the temperature probe on her. They just take her temperature every 3 hours, and the bed it's at a set temperature. It's not going up or down, so she has to regulate herself. So they put them in clothes. Really, they can only wear onesies. It's just the easiest thing to put them in right now without they don't want pants and stuff, because it's really hard to get them in pants when they have all these other cords and wires and stuff. But yeah, she's wearing clothes. So that's one big step that she's working on, is the temperature regulation and her feeding. She has had a great first month, and I'll be doing updates every month. Obviously she's not home yet, so I cannot show her to you right at this moment, but we probably will insert a few little clips of her. But yeah, I'll be doing one of these every month just so you guys can see her and keep up with her and all of her achievements that she does throughout the months as she gets bigger. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit the notification bell if you really want to know when we post our videos. That's the only way YouTube is going to be notifying you is if you hit the bell notification. I know, it's a little silly. I think it should be enough that you're subscribed, but hey, that's just the way it is right now. But yeah, so hit that notification bell and leave a happy, friendly comment below. Let me know what other kind of videos you would like to see, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!